Good morning, everybody. My name's Faye McGuinness. I'm the Director of Programmes at Education Support. We're the only charity in the UK supporting the mental health and wellbeing of everybody working in the education sector. And today I'm hosting this short discussion around role modelling, and particularly role modelling when it comes to supporting school staff's mental health and wellbeing. I'm really pleased to be joined by Claire and Nikki today, and I'm going to hand over to them to introduce themselves. Over to you, Claire and Nikki.
Good morning, Bore da, everybody. I'm Claire Moses and I'm the head teacher at Green Meadow Primary School in Cwmbran.
Good morning, Bore da pawb. My name is Nikki Peggington and I'm deputy head teacher at Green Meadow Primary School in Cwmbran.
And I'd just like to start off by saying, well-being is, good staff well-being is essential for cultivating a mentally healthy school. It's for retaining your staff and motivating them and promoting pupil well-being and attainment. I believe that well-being is all about holistic health, including physical and emotional. And when we have good levels of well-being, we feel that life is in balance and we generally then can cope well. We feel motivated and engaged and we become resilient, I say, and be able to deal with what I call tricky situations and can bounce back from life's challenges. I think it improves performance. It reduces staff leaving us, they stay with us, it's not a quick turnaround, and it also helps with reducing sickness absence. I think it's so important that staff feel valued and can be open about their health and well-being and know how to access support if needed.
Brilliant, thank you. And I think, what you're saying there is that mental health and well-being has to be at the heart of decision making, the heart of your policies, the heart of your practice. And we talk about that a lot at Education Support, that actually staff mental health and wellbeing has to be central to the conversation about how we manage education. So that's really important.
It is. It's what we live and breathe. It is the ethos, as you said, of our setting here at Green Meadow.
Brilliant, great. Well, you sort of spoke about this a little bit just in your introduction there, so thank you. But what does good role modelling mean to you as leaders?
Okay, as a school leader, I believe that we have to have a strong starts at the top, with Nikki and myself being a very strong senior leadership team and working very closely together. I believe that there shouldn't be, like what I say, is a crack in the senior leadership, and we need to be strong together and work together. And we promote well-being all the time, and we encourage our staff to sort of what we call self-reflect, and we do that as leaders as well. We're always reflecting on how things are going, how things we could do differently, and make things better for everybody. We obviously set expectations. We have to have standards. And, we set those, we role model those, we have high standards and expectations, and we're self-aware and we're open to, I think it's important to be open to learning and new ideas. I think it's also important that we show empathy and think carefully about our, what we do and the impact that could have on others. That is really important. And as a senior leadership team, we want to inspire them and motivate the team. And I think what will come across this morning is Nikki and I both have very positive attitudes. And I think that then is infectious to the rest of the staff. We role model that, you have to be positive, and we exhibit strength, and we're really calm, and we persevere through times, sometimes can be stressful. So I think a positive attitude is contagious and will make the team stronger. I think also that it's really important to build trust. And to be honest and true to your word. There must be nothing worse than saying, listen to them and say you'll do something, but then not actually do it. So being true to your word and making the decisions that's best for both pupils and staff. And I also want to say that communication is really strong here at Green Meadow, and effective communication is essential for school to run smoothly and make time for staff and pupils. And really importantly, getting to know your staff, to know them well, because they're all different, they all bring something different, and I think getting to know them is really important, and then to offer any support and encouragement that they need. So I think all those things are what we would call as a good leadership role model.
Absolutely brilliant. And I think, what that's really doing is it's creating the culture and the conditions where people feel trusted, they feel safe, they feel able to be their authentic self, they're able to kind of bring some of those important conversations into the workplace. And I just wanted to touch on a couple of things that you said there. So self-reflection, you said at the beginning that you allow that space for self-reflection. And we know from our Teacher Wellbeing Index that we run yearly that the access that educators have to supervision is very low. Around sort of 9% of educators said they had access to a space to talk about the professional impact of their role and what's going on for them. How do you facilitate that self-reflection? What are the kind of things that you do?
We dedicate time in our professional learning time where they've got like a reflective journal, and they've got chance to sort of sit and think about, you know, what has gone well this week. They've got like a mentor that they can go to speak to, and, you know, talk about things that are going well. And we sort of say here at Green Meadow, you know, it's okay if your lesson goes wrong. You know, that's not a failure. We are all going to have, but it's, you know, how we cope with that and talk to somebody about it and have that time and to reflect. And I think Nikki and I, you know, as leaders, I think we do that all the time, that we are daily, you know, every second of the day, we're always reflecting on, you know, what people are saying or how things are going, and how so we can refine it and review it and make. I think we are really good here at Green Meadow for giving people that opportunity to reflect and say that didn't work, forget it, and, you know, but this is working, you know, we can do that. So I think Nikki wants to add anything about self-reflection.
No, I think you said quite a lot there, Claire, really, with self-reflection. And I think it's just, you know, like Claire said, staff having their opportunities to self-reflect. And it's okay if something doesn't work, you know, it's having that ethos, isn't it? And that openness and transparency, really, that trial and sneak, if it works, great. If it doesn't, let's be open, let's be honest. And, you know, just staff feeling comfortable with having that opportunity to come and speak to us as leaders to say, look, I've tried this isn't working. And like Claire said, it's just trying to find those ways forward then, you know, to try and move forward and help the staff and help the children.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. And we know that, you know, that culture of allowing people to get things wrong is a really important driver to create a psychologically safe work environment, because we're all human, you know, we're all learning, we're all going to get things wrong. But actually having the opportunity to reflect on that and think about how as a team you can build from that is absolutely vital and a really important part of role modelling. So we know that leadership and management are key to promoting good mental health at work. Can you tell us some of the ways that you promote that as a leader at Green Meadow?
Well, I think first and foremost is us at Green Meadow having that health and wellbeing vision as a school, and everybody, you know, all stakeholders really, the staff, the pupils, the parents, our governors, everybody, you know, really contributing to that vision and what it looks like specifically for us as a school, because every school has got a different context. So first and foremost, you know, we've got a really clear vision, you know, of what we want health and wellbeing to look like here at Green Meadow. I've got to say, we've got the most amazing health and wellbeing team here. I think there's about 5 or 6 members of staff that make up that team, and they are very, very proactive. So lots of the wellbeing strategies that we use here at Green Meadow have actually come from them, which I think that is really important. That it's not just coming from Claire and I, it's coming from staff collectively, which has much greater impact throughout the school. So some of the things that we do, the initiatives that we do, we've got lots of mindfulness and yoga sessions going on. We've got a teacher trained in yoga, so we're very fortunate that she's been doing videos, posting those videos, like I say, for pupils to do with staff as well. We've all been loving those. We've got a wellbeing WhatsApp group for teachers, which is, we just post inspirational and motivational quotes on there. It helps us get through each day. It helps us get through each week. It really does. Weekend, you know, a Friday, that WhatsApp group is pinging away with, Friday, we've made it through another week. One thing that staff love doing, I know Claire loves doing this, we choose a staff star of the week. You know, we've got lots of initiatives going on for the children, but obviously for staff, the staff star of the week. So every Friday during Friday Forum, Claire will choose a member of staff, you know, who's gone above and beyond, who's really shone that week. And then they have their little star of the week trophy. When we were in the pandemic, it was really hard for staff to have their opportunity to socialise. So obviously when we were working from home, because the school was closed, we had kind of like a Teams meeting room where staff were able to go onto Teams at lunchtime and all have their lunch together, which was really nice because they missed their opportunity to be in the staff room with each other during lunch times. We've got a wellbeing board in the staff room. On there is just staff members, their birthdays, any courses for health and wellbeing that might be going on that staff may want to attend. Something which we love on a Friday at the end of the week is we have a coffee van coming into the school grounds.
Brilliant.
On a Friday, so that's just such a treat. And that's everybody, that's the staff, that's our midday supervisors, our canteen staff, your office staff, everybody's included in that if they want a coffee and a cake on a Friday, which is, really very welcomed. Also as well, we do a Feel Good Friday, which is for pupils and it's for staff. So we have a dress down day on a Friday. And, it's just so nice to get to the end of the week, isn't it? And think, oh, we've nearly got this. We have a dress down Friday and pupils undertake, their wellbeing activities, pertinent to them and what they want to do. So they're just some of the initiatives that we've done. Also, we have a secret friend, so whereby we have one person that we buy little gifts for. We might leave them on their desk. They don't know who's left the gifts there for them. But it's just the little things really that go a long way. And us as leaders, for me and Claire, we always say that please and thank yous go a long, long way in the workforce, and we're firm believers of that. And also, trying to think of ways that we can reduce workload for staff. When we were in the lockdown and we were working from home and we were doing our distance learning strategy, the strategy that we had as a school, it was really intense. And at the time, staff were having half a day PPA, but because of the higher expectations this strategy had, staff were saying it's a lot, it's a lot of planning, it's a lot of preparation. We're spending a lot of time on Teams delivering these live lessons. So we listened, we increased their PPA time. So throughout the week, in total, they'd have a whole day PPA, which they really did welcome. So, it's just trying to find ways to reduce workload. Now we're back in school, we're looking at how to reduce the planning side of things for staff, because they're saying, look, the planning expectations, is quite a lot. So, they're just a snapshot really of some of the initiatives that we've got going on here at Green Meadow. Did I miss anything, Claire?
Well, no, only to know I think you've covered lots of the new recent strategies that have been going well in our school. But I just wanted to say as well, we have got a survey that we do with staff, like a questionnaire, that a wellbeing one that and then that's where all this comes from. So they fill in the questionnaire. We at SLT looked at the data and the results, and then if there was something that was obviously they weren't happy about or something, then we'd explore that further with them and then move it on from there. So I think it's quite important to say that we do this with the staff, a wellbeing questionnaire that then impacts on what we do to make it better for them. But no, I think Nikki's given you a great snapshot of some of the real examples that we're doing here at Green Meadow, and they do love it. The coffee van in particular. Can't wait till 11 o'clock on a Friday when she. So yeah.
No, I think you probably saw me beaming throughout that whole piece there, because this is the type of stuff that actually we know creates the cultures where people feel like they're supported, that they feel connected, that they feel like they have purpose. And actually, I think some of the things that you said there around the opportunities that you gave for staff to connect, and we know that those relationships in education establishments are really important in schools. That connection is absolutely vital, and to be able to role model that and allow the time for people to connect is so important. And I think the stuff that you spoke about around reducing workload and planning, we know that actually if you don't start to tackle some of the drivers of poor mental health in your school, then actually you can put all of the kind of support in place, but it might not make a difference because you're not tackling the things that are causing people to feel stressed or unwell. So the fact that you're doing that alongside providing all of this support, and all of that is driven by what staff are telling you, is absolutely brilliant in terms of a way to approach this. And I think as a school, to role model that you're taking this seriously, all of those things are really, really important. So no, really, really brilliant stuff. And I think there's lots of good ideas in there for people watching this video to take away with them. I guess just thinking about you two, because there's obviously a huge amount there that you're doing for staff, and when it comes to prioritising mental health and well-being, and we ask leaders to lead from the front, it's quite easy to say that, but we know that leaders are really busy and have a lot on. So what are the simple things that you two practice to look after your own mental health and well-being that are visible to your staff?
Well, I think activities, to schedule a wellbeing activity out of school that's not linked to school. Like I just started the Couch to 5K.
Brilliant.
For 3 months, mind. I'm not getting very far. I share that with staff. I say, I've done my walk and my run this morning. I think the daily walk and promoting what we do, out of school as well. Sometimes I say to Nick, we've got Teams meetings all day. We're going to take 10 minutes and we're going to go and do a walk around the yard. And we just say we're going to do that together. So I think to sort of promote what you do that's not linked to school is really important. And I think we check in with, we're visible around the school as well, and we do spend, we go around and we do take it. If we pass them in the corridor, even though you might be on a mission to do something, we'd stop and are you okay? And we do regular check-ins, and I think that's really important. And Nikki, I know she's quite keen on doing thinking about your own well-being.
Staff know I try to look after staff as well as myself, my own well. I'm an avid baker, so I love baking. So when I've done my baking at home, quite often I will bring in a cake, a Victoria sponge, white chocolate and raspberry cheesecake. And so I know my own well-being there as well as the staff well-being when I bring in these cakes. But no, I think it's really important, and Claire and I, we always say we could be able to get better at doing this as leaders, taking that time out, for us to reflect as well, to try and improve our well-being. And like Claire said, she's out doing her walking. I'm a keen netball player and a runner as well. And so that is kind of my release time. And it's doing those check-ins, isn't it, with the staff, I think, and like you previously said, it's that connection. And I think as leaders, that's absolutely key. And I think that we're very, very good as leaders with connecting with our staff, with listening and understanding, and I think that's so important.
Yeah, I mean, really, really important. And we actually talk about something that we call our wellbeing non-negotiables. So, what are the 2 or 3 things that as individuals we have to do to look after ourselves? And they're different for everybody. And I think, Nikki, you talking about baking, that would probably be one of your non-negotiables. And the team know that you do that for your well-being. And when you bring in those cakes, they can see that you spent some time for yourself. So I think that is really important in role modelling. It's being able to say, these are my non-negotiables. You need to know that I need to do these things to keep me well. Actually, Nikki, mine is batch cooking, so we're on the same lines there. But yeah, I think that's brilliant. You've given us so much information there and so many good ideas that I think schools can take away. I just wanted to ask you sort of a last question, really, is that we talk a lot about work-home boundaries. We talk about work-life balance, and they can feel like concepts that we talk about. But are there any sort of simple lifestyle changes that you've encouraged staff to do when sort of managing those work-home boundaries, that work-life balance?
Yeah, definitely. We do encourage our staff to leave school at a reasonable time. We are going around saying, you've got a home to go to, off you go. So we do try to chivvy them out. You know what teachers are like. They'll be here till the school closes. Do encourage them to leave school at a reasonable time, to try and leave their laptops behind, to log off now and not log on till tomorrow morning. We also communicate, don't we, through Dojo, and parents can access teachers, on a one-to-one basis privately. And I've got to say our staff are absolutely amazing at doing that. If a parent messages them, they will get back to them. But we sort of say have a cut-off point, you know, if it's Friday at 9 o'clock, you know, leave it till Monday morning or something. You haven't got to get back to them. So we do encourage staff to, you know, to stop communicating with parents after a certain time. We do say not to work on weekends. You know, we have a wellbeing meeting, as Nikki referred to, called Friday Forum every week. And we always say to them now, you know, it's Friday, we've done this, have a great weekend, forget about school, recharge your batteries, and same with holidays, you know, try not to think about school and become back then, you'll be raring to go, we say. So we do encourage that. And really, you know, as we've said about the activities we have, we sort of say, you know, take time to, you know, go and have a walk and, you know, schedule some activities in with your family and have quality time, you know, that's so important. So we do try to encourage the staff to have a work-life balance.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. And I think, you know, we do talk about work-life balance a lot, but it can sometimes just feel like this fluffy term that we use with no action behind it. So it's great to hear some of the actions that you're taking to encourage that. So that's all of the questions. I mean, as I say, you've given us loads of good ideas and tips that I think will be so useful for other schools to take away. Is there anything that you want to add that you think is vital for people to know when they're thinking about role modelling that you might not have touched on already?
Well, I think it's just about knowing your staff well, isn't it? And giving them the opportunity to talk, to listen, to have that open door policy, to feel that you're approachable. I think those things, you know, they're simple things, aren't they? But sometimes get bogged down with the busyness of the day, and staff don't always feel like that. So I think to give them that time, and, you know, that you are listening and you are acting upon what they're saying, goes a long way, that they feel valued and cared for.
Yeah, we often say that the simplest things can have the biggest impact, and they often don't cost very much, apart from time. And actually, time is the most valuable thing we can give to people, isn't it? So when it comes to role modelling, I think that's a really key message to end with there. So I just want to say thank you so much. That's been an absolutely brilliant conversation, and is going to be helpful for so many people. And for anybody watching this, if you want any more information about how you can support the mental health and wellbeing of your staff, please visit the rest of the hub that you're on. There's a huge amount of information and resources on here. And please do make sure that you reach out to Education Support, visit our website if you want any more information about the charity. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.